This is booked for drama, where stories burn, hearts break, the tea is always hot and never a part 2. Today we're diving into Grandma called it, I dumped him. Let's go. Chapter 1. Grandpa gave me this long, worried look. Demi, isn't that guy your worst nightmare? Are you sure about marrying him? Once it's official, there's no undo button. This wasn't just a family drama. Grandpa was a big shot in archaeology, and whoever I married? Their family would land a fat partnership with ours. Cue Jace's mum, full panic mode. Demi, even if Jace forgot you, won't you head over heels for him? Just give it time, marry him, and maybe it'll all come back. Grandma practically gagged. Spare me. Last time around, that Stafford witch trashed Demi's jewelry, and Demi didn't even snap. So what did Jace do? Tossed her out into a rainstorm. In her nightgown. She stood there freezing for hours. It was Leroy who showed up, umbrella in hand, and booked her a hotel. Sure, the boy's got a mouth, but he's got heart. Yeah, that hit me right in the chest. I had no clue why Grandma kept dropping lines about past lives and last time, like we were trapped in some weird time loop. But every word hit me like deja vu gone wrong. Heavy, suffocating, too real. And let's be honest, Ava Stafford was always Jace's number 1. I was just the sequel nobody asked for. I've made my choice, Grandpa. I want Leroy. He slid the photos away and ruffled my hair. All right, your call. I'll announce the engagement in 2 days. Grandma exhaled like she'd been holding her breath for a century. Finally, no cursed past, no dead weight. This time, Demi's actually got a shot at being happy. While Grandpa and the others got deep into legacy talk, I slipped into fresh clothes and stepped out for some air. Did not expect to find 3 tall, annoyingly good-looking guys waiting outside. Yep, childhood friends, also known as fiancé contenders. Jace was there. Leroy, of course, was Mia. Skylar strolled up first, grinning. So, Demi, word is your grandpa's picking your future hubby from the 4 of us. Spill. Who's the lucky guy? Roland cut in with a smirk. Do we even need to ask? It's gotta be Jace. Everyone knows Demi's been obsessed with him since forever, treated him like he was made of gold. Jace looked at me, cool as ever. I don't remember the last 3 years. All I know is, Ava was my girlfriend. But I get that you and I were a thing during that time. I don't love you now, but if the engagement's official, I'll go through with it. My dad would want that. Grandma practically hissed. In Demi's last life, this snake pretended to forget everything just to mess around with Ava while draining Demi dry. Took our money, drove her into depression, wrecked her health, and yeah, she died. Jace, you scumbag, beat it. I stared at Jace's blank face. If it weren't for Grandma, I might have fallen for it, again. I really did love him once. Though he loved me too. Chapter 2. Just like 3 years ago, when he lit up the whole city with fireworks for me. His eyes were all soft, his voice dripping with sweet nothings. Demi, I want to marry you. I want to make you the happiest woman in the world. I cried, literally, and fell for him hard. 3 years of bliss, or so I thought, until it hit me. He'd never let go of Ava. He faked the love, played the part, because upsetting me meant losing the family perks. And now, is done pretending, fakes amnesia, runs back to Ava, and agrees to marry me like is doing charity work, just to lock in our family's partnership. Too bad life's not that generous. I wanted to rip into him right then and there, but the smug look on his face stopped me. Fine, let him enjoy his little moment. I couldn't wait to see his face when Grandpa dropped the real bomb. While I kept quiet, Skylar nudged me. So, Demi, does that mean you picked Jace? You'll find out in 2 days. I turned and walked off, not looking back. Behind me, Roland clicked his tongue. It's gotta be Jace. He just doesn't remember how obsessed she was. When he got sick, Demi hunted down every sketchy treatment in the country. Even drove overnight to some mountain chapel just to light a candle for him. The girl was gone for him. Jace let out a lazy chuckle. Didn't know she loved me that much. My chest tightened. Tears threatened, but I blinked them back. Everyone knew I was head over heels for him. They all laughed, called me a simp, whatever. I didn't care. I lost my parents early. Grandpa and Grandma were always off chasing ancient bones. I was just the easy target. Only Jace had my back. I've liked him since forever. When he finally confessed, I cried like an idiot and swore I'd love him with everything I had. Turns out, all that sweetness had strings attached. He never deserved me. Demi, wait. I turned. Of course, it was Jace. Hands in his pockets, casual as ever. I know you picked me. I'll marry you, but my heart's with Ava. Just, don't get in the way. I stared at him down. Thought you had amnesia? How are you so sure I'd choose you? He frowned. Everyone says you love me. Who else would you pick? Wow. I smiled, sharp and bitter. So he knew I loved him. And still stomped all over it? Relax. I'm not clinging to you anymore. You and Ava can have your love story. I'm out. Honestly, I couldn't wait to see his face when he found out I picked Leroy. For a second, Jace actually looked shocked that I let go so easily. I kept walking toward the hospital, not in the mood. That's when it happened. Out of nowhere, a bike barreled straight at me. Boom, slammed right into my leg. I hit the pavement hard, palms scraping across the ground, pain lighting up my arms. Ava's face flipped like a switch. She hopped off her little e-bike and rushed over, fake tears locked and loaded. Demi, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to hit you. Please don't be mad. Before I could even blink, Grandma was raging in my head. This brat again, just like last time, pretending to be clueless, always twisting things to play the victim and keep Jace wrapped around her finger. Both of them suck. And like clockwork, Jace snapped to attention the second Ava cried. It's fine, Ava. It's nothing. I'm here. You won't get blamed. He helped her up first, then turned to me like I was the problem. It was just a bump. You're not seriously gonna make a thing out of this, right? One of my arms was bleeding, but I gritted my teeth and stood up. Then Ava turned to me, eyes watery and voice trembling. Demi, I'm really sorry. I wasn't paying attention. I'll slap myself if it makes you feel better. Chapter 3. Just as Ava raised her hand to oh so dramatically slap herself, Jace caught her wrist and snapped at me. Demi, she didn't mean it. Can you stop bullying her just because of your background? Grandma was livid. What a joke. Demi hasn't even opened her mouth, and this girl's out here sobbing like she's in a soap opera. And now it's bullying? Oh no. Sweetheart, don't let that slide. Give Em a wake-up call. So I did. I raised my hand and smacked Ava clean across the face. Then Jace looked dead in the eye. See? That's bullying. Ava froze, mouth open. Jace? Ice cold. Demi Mancini, you've gone too far. I slapped him. Too hard. That's too far. For years, I'd let him talk down to me. Never pushed back. Now? He didn't know what to do with himself. Jace stared at me down, jaw tight. Fine, real fine, but you hit me again, don't come crying later. Then he turned his back on me. Come on, Ava, let's get you checked out. Grandma scoffed so loud in my head. Not even a glance at you, Demi. Just running off to baby someone else. What a blockhead. Any girl would regret ending up with a guy like that. Ugh, and look at that arm. Ouch, sweetheart. I glanced at my bleeding arm, the scrape raw and stinging. And just like that, everything hit me. Pain, betrayal, all of it, full force. Back in school, Jace would have freaked over a paper cut. I wanted to carry my pain. Maybe he never really loved me. I used to think at least that part was real. Now he ignored my arm and threw accusations like I was out to make Ava look bad. Grandma wasn't just being dramatic. She was dead right. Marrying him would have been the same disaster on loop. I wiped my tears, found a nurse, and got my arm bandaged. Around me, nurses kept whispering, eyes flicking toward a wall. I followed their stare. Behind the glass? Ava and Jace, locked in some dramatic, steamy hug. Ava's voice drifted out. Jace, if Demi found out you faked amnesia just to be with me, she'd lose it. He twirled her hair. So what if she does? Everyone knows she's obsessed with me. Even without my memory, she'd still beg me to marry her. Grandma scoffed hard. In his dreams, Demi didn't pick him. She's not begging anyone. Just wait till the engagement news hits. Let's see him smirk then. I laughed. Dry, empty. No joy in sight. Cradling my bandaged arm, I turned and walked away. I'd heard enough. Screams exploded around me. They've got knives. Run. Panic hit like a slap. I bolted with the crowd, but some patient in the chaos snatched me, swinging a knife like a maniac. I had some self-defense training, not enough. I caught Jace looking over. Jace, help me, I yelled without thinking. He started to move, but Ava latched onto his arm. Jace, I'm scared. Please don't leave me. And he froze. That 1 second, the knife sliced across my already torn up arm. I gasped, pain white hot. Grandma was freaking out. This attack was a nightmare back then. How'd Demi end up in it again? And Jace? Faking amnesia, letting her bleed while he plays hero for Ava? Unbelievable. I could barely stay upright, dizzy from the pain. I bit down hard and screamed, Jace, I'm begging you. Help me, or I'm seriously gonna die. And right then, Ava screamed. A patient charged at them. Jace didn't even blink, just threw himself over Ava and ran off with her. Chapter 4. My brain short-circuited watching him disappear with the girl he actually cared about. I wasn't even asking for love anymore. After everything, years of caring, years of loving, he couldn't show mercy, not even once? The weight crushing me disappeared. Leroy had kicked the guy off and yanked me into his arms, shielding me as we ran. Let's go. The chaos was wild but didn't last. Security showed up fast and shut it down. I was still shaking, my whole body trembling. Leroy handed me a cup of hot water, eyes unreadable. Not that I noticed. Didn't even think to ask why he was there. I just used the last of my strength to mumble a thanks. News spread like wildfire. By that night, Grandpa already knew. And he was livid, demanded answers from both the Thorne and Stafford families. The Staffords freaked. Ava got slapped with house arrest, and they sent over some awkward apology gift. The Thornes? Furious. They made Jace show up in person to apologize. That night, he stormed in and tossed a box of supplements on the table. His face was dark. Demi, what happened today wasn't Ava's fault. I'm the one who didn't help. Why punish her? Are you settling old scores now? I lifted my bandaged arm. You see this, Jace? He hesitated, then snapped, You're still alive, aren't you? You're Mancini's only heir. One phone call and the whole world rushes in to save you. But Ava's only got me. She almost got hurt too. Can you stop being so heartless? Talk to your grandpa and drop her punishment, or I'm canceling our engagement. Like I was supposed to panic. Grandma scoffed. Shameless. I was so over it. Too drained to yell. Security. Get him out. A few guards stepped in and walked him right out the door. As he left, he yelled, Demi, you'll regret this. Jace didn't show up the next day. Meanwhile, Grandpa wasn't playing around. He threw the biggest banquet the Mancinis had ever hosted. All 4 legacy families were there. I walked into the hall in my gown, eyes landing on Jace in the center. Ava was right beside him, glowing like she'd just won prom queen. I blinked. Wait, wasn't she supposed to be on house arrest? Grandma scoffed. Jace probably bribed and threatened the Staffords to get her out. Funny how he never lifted a finger like that for you. What a heartless mutt. Jace shot me a quick look, then turned away. Ava smirked like she already knew the ending. The crowd started whispering, Why does Jace look so over Demi? And why's he glued to the Stafford girl? I heard the latent heirs into Demi. Maybe we've got the wrong guy pegged as the fiancé. No way. Even if Jace has amnesia and only remembers Ava, Demi's obsessed with him. She'd literally die for that guy. He has to be Demi's husband. Leroy threw a cold look their way. They shut up real fast and shuffled off. Grandpa was glowing. He waved me up to the stage and handed me the mic. Demi, this is your engagement banquet. Something this big. You should announce it yourself. All right. I grabbed the mic, heart pounding. Jace's stare burned into me. I smiled right at him. He flinched. I spoke loud and clear. Thanks for coming to my engagement banquet. Today, I want to formally introduce my fiancé. Chapter 5. Leroy Layton, son of the Layton family. Dead silence. It was like someone hit pause on the whole room. Roland gawked at me, totally blindsided. Demi, did you mess up? Isn't your fiancé Jace? How could it be Leroy? The crowd broke into a chorus of confused murmurs. No one saw this coming. I didn't mess up. I chose Leroy. I stepped down from the stage and handed Leroy the Mancini crest signet. He just stared, stone-faced. My stomach dipped. You don't want it? Then bam, a grin. I'd be honored. A huge deal for me and my family. He pocketed it, gave Grandpa a nod, and just like that, the pressure on my chest finally cracked open. Everyone else? Total pros at faking it. They pivoted fast, tossing out stiff congratulations. Oh wow, I always thought Demi and Leroy were perfect together, meant to be, really. Grandma's voice in my head went full eye roll. Yeah, sure. Weren't you just screaming about Demi being a simp like 5 minutes ago? Keep running your mouth. Heaven's got a lightning bolt locked and loaded. Exactly, no wonder she picked him. He's got that noble, mysterious vibe. Totally stands out. Grandma snorted. Didn't you literally call him a cold, boring wall nobody wanted? Now he's Prince Charming? Please. Every fake compliment got roasted by Grandma in my head. I cracked up, couldn't hold it in. Leroy's brows pinched. What's so funny? Some wild impulse hit me. I leaned in, slow, and said, because I'm marrying you. That actually makes me happy. He sucked in air like he forgot how to breathe, ears going firetruck red. Grandma cackled. Didn't think that kid would blush over something like that. Same. I never thought I'd see Leroy actually flustered. He's usually stone cold, sharp-tongued, always dropping lines that make me want to tear my hair out. When we were kids, one of Jace's sidekicks jacked the hairpin my mum gave me. I couldn't find Jace, and I was too weak to fight back. So I just stood there, eyes burning, pissed and helpless. Then Leroy came out of nowhere, grabbed the kid, shoved him against the wall, and ripped the hairpin back. I lit up, ready to thank him, but he just sneered. Useless. Jace is trash, you can't rely on him. Rely on yourself. Ice water straight to the face. I bolted, crying. That was Leroy, mouth like a knife, but somehow always the one who showed up. I used to hate him for that. When I told Grandma, she just smiled and said, some people love you but don't know how to say it nicely. Back then, I didn't get it. Now I do. Leroy had Jace figured out from the start. He just sucked at words, so he used that backwards, twisted way to make his point. I never once won an argument with him. And seeing him like this now? Too easy to mess with. I leaned in. What, you're not happy about marrying me? Of course I'm happy. It's an honor. Just, maybe don't stand so close? You're kind of in my space. His face stayed blank, but his ears were basically on fire. I reached out and pinched one. Leroy jolted like I'd shocked him, then forced his voice steady. I'm going to the restroom. Wait here. Chapter 6. Leroy took off like the floor was lava. Grandma sighed. If that kid stayed that shy, he'd be way more likable. It's when he opens his mouth that people wanna strangle him. I nodded, then glanced up straight into Jace's eyes. He must have seen everything. His face was paper white, just staring, even with Ava shoving at him like a broken record. Grandma snorted. Pick him, he's mad. Don't pick him, he's still mad. That's people for you, they only get it once it's gone. I ignored him, chatted with a couple guests, then grabbed my purse to slip outside. Right as I turned, a hand clamped on my arm. Jace's eyes burned into mine. Why him? He bit out. Since when have you been with Leroy? I yanked my arm free. Watch it. My private life's none of your business. If not Leroy, who else would I be engaged to? His lips parted. But we were in love. Weren't you obsessed with me? I almost laughed. Didn't you claim amnesia? Said Ava was the only girl you remembered? Didn't you beg me to let you have her? Yeah, he begged for it. So why did he look like I'd just ripped something priceless out of his hands? Jace tried again. slower. I think I still love you. What we had was real. Once we're married, give it a couple years, maybe I'll remember everything. Grandma blew up in my head. Still feeding her lies? What, you think we're as clueless as you are? I was done with the act. Jace Thorne, I said, voice flat, does anyone tell you how pathetic it looks, faking amnesia just to have it both ways? He froze, fingers clamping my sleeve. How did you know? I shook him off, disgust curling in my chest. I already gave you what you wanted. Don't bother me again. By the time he snapped back, I was already walking off. He tried to follow, but Ava latched onto his arm, bawling and dragging him down. Through gritted teeth, he yelled, Leroy's no saint either. Half our circle hates him. You should think this through. I didn't even slow down. My choices are mine. If I pick him, he's worth it. He hesitated, then shouted, you'll regret marrying him. Sorry, but I won't. Grandma clapped in my head. Atta girl. Sharp as I was back in the day. I slipped out of the hall, leaned on the railing, letting the evening breeze cool me off. At some point Leroy showed up beside me, dark eyes locked on mine. Why'd you come out here? Leroy, doesn't this spot feel like back in college? The four of us heirs went to school together. When we didn't have class, we'd hang by the windows for the breeze. Mostly it was me and Jace. If he ditched, I'd go alone, and sometimes I'd run into Leroy. Then, I couldn't stand him. His sharp mouth and the way he trashed Jace drove me nuts. We argued almost every time we met. He shut up when we stood in the breeze like this, just, there a beer, then knocked back a few gulps of his own. He clearly had something on his mind, but he stayed quiet. Chapter 7. Leroy finally broke the silence. Guess our little show's almost up. When are you gonna tell everyone what's really going on? I blinked at him. What do you mean? I meant it when I said I'd marry you. He let out this bitter laugh, eyes dark. Come on, you don't have to fake it with me. You've always been hung up on Jace. This engagement? Just bait to make him snap. The second he does, you're out. Am I wrong? Guilt and annoyance tangled in my chest. Grandma's voice piped up in my head, amused. Oh, honey, is just jealous. Just like that, the irritation was gone. I grabbed Leroy's hand. What if I told you I meant it? He tried to pull back, but I didn't let go. His eyes searched mine, guarded. Demi Mancini, are you really over Jace? You're not just saying this? I frowned. What else would I mean? You don't want to marry me? Before I could push further, he yanked me into his arms. His hold was crushing, desperate, like he was finally letting everything out. His voice, low and almost trembling, brushed my ear. I do. The wedding was set for next week. After yesterday, things between me and Leroy had heated up fast. So when he asked me to dinner, I didn't even think twice. But the second we walked into the mall, I froze. Two very familiar faces. Jace's brows slammed together the moment he saw us. What are you doing here? Leroy arched a brow, calm but sharp. So you two can shop as friends, but me and my newlywed can't hang out? He threw the word like a dart. Yeah, technically we were just engaged, but whatever. Jace's expression soured. There's nothing going on between us. Don't twist it. First time he'd ever actually denied Ava. Predictably, she stood there looking tragic and mute. Grandma nailed it in my head. Coward who won't own his feelings. Selfish jerk who wants it all. Couldn't argue with that. I was over it. Over him. I just wanted peace. So I didn't even let him drag it out. I slipped right into the restaurant with Leroy. He ordered like it was nothing. A full-on feast. When I glanced at the menu, I froze. Every single one of my favorites was already there. Catching my look, he cleared his throat. You mentioned 'em once or twice. I remembered. I blinked, the memory hitting hard. Jace never remembered I was allergic to chili. Always dumped on more spice. I'd nag, he'd laugh, blame his bad memory. And I'd let it go. Later, I found out spicy food was Ava's thing. Guess love or not loving someone is pretty damn obvious. Leroy's ears went red under my stare. He scrambled for a save. There's a new ice cream place downstairs. Wanna check it out? I nodded, and he bolted like his face was about to combust. Grandma chuckled in my head. This kid's a keeper. You're in for a good life. I couldn't argue. Then someone slid into the seat across from me. I looked up, smiled automatically, until I realized it was Jace. My voice went flat. What do you want? He leaned in, desperate. You're getting married in 10 days. There's still time. Call it off. Talk to your grandpa. I'll get everything ready to marry you. Chapter 8. Grandma muttered in my head. Why's this trash still orbiting you? Can't shake him. I gave him a look like he'd lost his mind. Why would I call off my wedding? Why would I marry you? Jace froze, then scrambled. Okay, I lied, but you only got with him to spite me. You've always liked me, right? Just call it off. I'll marry you. I'll marry you. It used to be my dream. Now, after he kept picking Ava and leaving me in the dust, I was over it. I shot him a glare. First you fake amnesia, then you tell me to move on. It's all just you dumping me in new packaging. Your family's rolling in cash now, so why the sudden obsession with me? His eyes flickered. No answer. All he knew was that without me, there was this hollow pit he couldn't shake. I sighed. Doesn't matter. I'm getting married in 10 days. The past is buried. If you've got a shred of pride left, quit chasing me. Leave. He stayed there, silent, eyes fixed on the table, refusing to move. Then Leroy's voice cut in, dripping smug. Wow, catching up with my wife while your girl's stranded outside? Real classy, Jace Thorne. The air snapped tight. Jace sneered. Don't get cocky. Demi and I actually have history. Who even are you? Leroy didn't blink. He poured his tea slowly, like nothing touched him. History's cute, but it's not about who showed up first. It's about who actually matters. And that'd be me. Jace scoffed. And how do you know that? Clearly I are. Hot tea splashed across his hand. Leroy's hand had slipped. Leroy's fake concern was almost funny. Oops. Total accident. My bad. Jace snapped, shoving up from his chair, sending tea everywhere straight onto Leroy. I lost it. I yanked Jace back. Are you out of your freaking mind? Jace stammered. It wasn't me. He didn't screw the lid right. I turned him out, zeroed in on Leroy's arm, already red and blistering. Waved a server over for a first aid kit and handled it myself, steady and careful. Not once did I look at Jace. He sounded pathetic. Demi, I'm hurt too, can't you see? I finally glanced up, ice cold. Get out, now. Jace opened his mouth to argue, but one look from me shut him down. He flinched, clenched his jaw, and finally stormed off. Defeated. After that, the wedding prep was smooth sailing. When Leroy and I shopped for rings, Grandma was all over it, demanding I pick the biggest, flashiest diamond. When I tried on dresses, she gushed nonstop, swearing I looked just like her back in the day. She was there for everything. I'd gotten used to her hovering, and weirdly, it made me feel calm. At the ceremony 10 days later, right after Leroy and I swapped rings, I heard Grandma's soft sobs in my head. To witness this, I can finally cross over without regrets. I wanted to tell her to quit crying, then remembered she couldn't hear me. Outside, families from our circle had shown up to celebrate. Leroy started to rise and greet them, but I grabbed his arm, stopping him. Chapter 9. All right, Leroy, you've had a long day. My turn. He tried to argue, but I shoved him into the chair. He caved with that helpless smile. Fine, just be careful. Traffic's insane. I nodded and stepped outside. Cars jammed the street, horns blaring. I spotted someone in the crowd and waved then. Watch out, a car shot straight at me. I stumbled, hit the pavement, and the world snapped to black. When I came to, I was in a hospital bed. Leroy clutched my hand, voice shaking. Thank God, just a few scrapes, they'll let you out soon. But seriously, be careful. I was freaking out. He pulled me into a tight hug. I hugged him back, slow, uneasy. Something felt wrong. Then it hit me, Grandma. I yanked away and checked my messages with Jace. The last one still stared back. Ava's the only one I see as my girlfriend. If Grandma had caught me rereading that trash, she'd have lit me up. But now, nothing. No snarky comments, no voice in my head. Just silence. She was really gone. It finally sank in. She'd seen me marry the right guy. She was at peace and gone for real this time. 3 days later, Grandpa took Leroy and me to her grave. We set fresh roses down. Grandpa sighed. You two go on ahead. I want a minute with her. Leroy and I traded a look, then walked off quietly. Alone, Demi's grandpa traced his late wife's name on the stone. You came to me in a dream, said Demi, who married the wrong man. You bargained with the heavens for another chance. Always the odd one, talking like you belonged in a storybook. But I know your only wish was for her happiness. Don't worry, I'll protect her while I'm here. When I'm gone, Leroy will step in. Rest easy. He talked a while longer, then patted the headstone. I'll be back next year. 5 years flew by. Leroy and I had a daughter, and somehow we were still disgustingly sweet together. The little trio that used to visit Grandma's grave had officially become 4. Leroy crouched down, cradling our baby. I smiled at the headstone. Grandma, this is our daughter. Her name's Gwyneth. We want her life to be as blessed as her name. Evelyn, tiny, swaddled, eyes huge, stared at everything like it was brand new, making Grandpa and Leroy crack up. Let me hold her, Grandpa said, hands already out. Leroy turned away, scowling. You've hogged her all day. My turn. Oh, quit whining. 5 more minutes. I covered my mouth, laughing at them bickering like little kids. A small bird watched us from a branch, then spread its wings and disappeared into the sky. And that's a wrap on today's reading here at Booked for Drama. If you felt anything, rage, swoon, second-hand heartbreak, let me know in the comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share with your fellow drama lovers. If you have any requests, drop them in the comments. Until next time, keep reading, and keep the drama on the page.